All right, everybody, I'm back. I'm trying to wrap this up with why did I stay with the abuser for 11 years? You know, as the day went on that day, and me and him were going back and forth when he had his daughter and everything. We ended up going back home. Everything was good. Um, the next day, everything was good. It was all right a little bit, but we ended up getting an argument later on that evening. And oh my God, I don't know. Like, let me just tell y'all what happened. So when I was doing what I was doing to get money to survive and take care of my family, right or wrong, I was trying to survive. He got jealous about what I was doing, how I was doing it, and he wanted to get in on it. So I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna show him nothing like this. No, my gut was just already telling me, don't tell him nothing, don't let him in on nothing. Give him a little money here and there, which he didn't deserve it. But I was sent to the table one night, and I was doing what I do, and he came over and he was like, "What you got going on?" I was like, "Nothing." I kind of put my hands on the paper. I didn't want him to see nothing. So he was like, "Well, what you snatching back for? What you snatching back for?" I was like, "Listen, let me do what I do, and you just go finish watching football, doing what you do." And he's like, "Okay, whatever." So he walked off. He walked off about maybe a few minutes, came right back around the corner. I ain't really got time for this here. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you doing this shit? You ain't got to do this shit. You a hard working woman. No, you just want me to not do it because you don't want me to come up. I'm going to leave your ass. But anyway, we going back and forth about that. And then he's like, you know what? And so he snatched the book, y'all. Whatever I had, he snatched it. And he walked off with it. So I jumped up. I'm like, give me my shit. Give me my shit. He's like, I'm not giving you your shit. I'm gonna turn you in. I'm finna call the police. Like, listen, y'all. He's talking about he gonna call the police. I'm up here doing something to survive and do what I gotta do. Ain't got nothing to do with him. Ain't nobody, what I'm saying, show it to him. They showed it to me. So he got my information, and he's talking about he gonna call the police. So we yelling and going on and on and on. I guess one of the neighbors heard us over there yelling, and they ended up calling the police. I heard a knock at the door, and as the door, the door, I went over to the door to open up the door, and the police was there, and I was like, okay, how y'all doing? It was like there was a call in the area that sounded like some domestic going on, and I said, well, yeah, not domestic, but I want y'all to get him out of here immediately. I was like, I want y'all to get him out of here. And then the officer came in. It was a black officer, and he was like, what's the problem? So I told him what was going on, and I told him a little bit about, me trying to get him out of here. What can I do? Because the man, we've been together for a while, y'all. He was getting mail at the house. It's hard to get people out. One thing, when you have a man living with you and he can stay with you, he get mail there, you got to go evict him. You got to go down to the courthouse like you a landlord and evict his ass up out of there, which I was looking to go pay $300 on this man. But anyway, the abuser standing there and he looking all crazy. He said, you know what? She in here doing this and doing that, and y'all need to take her to jail. Officer was like, what? So he talking about whatever he talking about, trying to tell on me. And the officer just looking at him, and the officer said, you know what? We're not here for whatever you're talking about. We're here because we hear somebody call about loud noises in the neighborhood. And I'm just looking like, thank you, Jesus. I said, well, can you tell him to give me my bag, my purse? He getting the bag, talking about, y'all, look what she doing, blah, 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 blah. The man still ignoring him. I don't know. God was with me that night. I guess he closed that man's ears to what he was saying, and he made him give me back my bag. So I got my bag, and the officer pulled to my side, and they were talking, and then he came back in. He was like, well, what I can do is just make him leave for the night. I'm like, okay, all right. So he packed up his stuff. The officer made sure he left, and he left. He kept calling. He called all night. And I didn't even sleep in the room, y'all. My room was in the bed. I didn't even sleep in the room. I slept in the living room in case I hear that fool coming through the door because I'm getting up. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting up. So as I'm laying on the couch, he's calling, he calling, he calling, he calling, he calling. He calling and calling. I'm like, I'm not answering this phone. So I finally picked it up like a dummy, like all the time, I answered the phone, and he on the phone, oh, I'm going to beat your ass when I get back over there. I'm going to do this and do that. See, I wish I had a phone like I had today because I could have recorded the conversation, but we didn't have them type of phones, you know. We didn't have them phones like that back in 2009 and 2010. But anyway, he on the phone threatening me and threatening me and threatening me and threatening me. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time for this. So I put the phone down on the floor and just went to sleep. I woke up to about 1,000,000 messages, y'all. I'm talking about going in. But just know, I said about 10:30 that morning, he ended up coming over. He came back. He was like, what you doing today? I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I said, I'm about to go do some things I got to do, and I'm not doing nothing with you. So he's like, oh, you ain't doing that with me? I'm like, look, I'm tired of arguing with you. I'm tired of arguing with you. I'm tired of going back and forth with you. The relationship has been terrible. You have manipulated me. You have done things to me that nobody shouldn't be doing to nobody, child. You know, just to keep it real, y'all, this man, he done spit on me. He didn't kick me. He didn't try to choke me. He told me he was going to kill me, and I still stayed there like a dummy. I was young and dumb. Do you hear me? But listen, so we going back and forth. We going back and forth. He's like, well, I'm going with you. I'm like, no, you ain't going with me. You ain't going with me because I was already headed over to Tampa, y'all. That's why I used to stay all the time in Tampa. Once I get over across that bridge, that fool can't find me then because he don't know where the first street to turn and see where I'm at with my homies. But anyway, we're going back and forth. We're going back and forth. Here we go. He go in the room. I'm in the living room. I get up to go in the room. I see him coming out, and I'm looking down at him. He had on like some sweatpants, and it was kind of like bulky in the front. I'm like, what do you got going on? So I go on in the room to go see what's going on. I'm checking my purse, checking my keys, checking my money, like always. He done took the keys. He done took the purse. No, he took the keys. He took the money and took my ID. He put all that in his pocket, and I'm like, I'm not doing this today. I'm not doing this today. So I'm going back out the room. I come in there. I say, look, give me my stuff. I got to go. No, you ain't going nowhere. I'm going. I say, give me my stuff. Give me my stuff right now. I'm finna call the police on you. I'm finna call the police. So I get my phone. I head towards the door. He come behind me and grab me on the shoulder. And he like, look, here, get your stuff, get your stuff, get your stuff. So he give it to me. So look, y'all, I get my purse. I head towards the car. I had a 2002 or 2003, 2002 Camry. It was green. And I had got it off the lot maybe a couple months before we had moved. And I was getting in the car. As I was backing in the car, getting in the car, putting all my stuff in there, I ain't see him nowhere. You know, I ain't know where he was. I was like, okay, he must be going to chill out today. I'm finna go. So as I'm backing out, y'all, you know how you turn around and look to see where you're going? I heard someone say, boom. I looked. My damn windshield was cracked. Y'all wouldn't believe what this fool had done did. Y'all wouldn't believe what this fool had done did. This fool took a drill that we used to put pictures up in the house. It was a big drill. That fool threw that drill at my car and hit my windshield and broke my windshield. I hit the brake so hard and jumped out that car, and I started crying immediately. I'm like, why you did this? Why you do that? Why you messing up what I got? Why you doing this? Why you doing that? He said, F you and what you got going on. F you in this car. F you, I hate you, and all of this extra stuff. And I'm like, why are you doing all that? Now you done broke my windshield. He's like, oh, you can get it fixed. They let you get it fixed free with your insurance. I'm like, listen, it's not a game to be played with. Why are you doing this? Like, why are you trying to like sabotage everything that I got going on? You don't need to be doing all of that. He's sitting there looking at me crazy. I'm sitting there looking at him crazy. So I ended up going back in the house. I was sitting on the phone. I went in the room. I was calling my homegirl, telling her what was going on. I was crying. She like, look, bitch, the car's still drivable, right? I'm like, yeah, the car's still drivable. She said, get in the car and just come on across the bridge. I got up. He told me, you finna go? I said, yeah, I'm finna go. I'm not saying. He said, you gonna drive the car like that? What you mean drive the car like that? I'm finna haul ass. You stay your ass right here. So I get in the car. I back up. I go ahead and leave. He just standing in the door. I'm looking in the rearview mirror, trying to hope this nigga ain't finna throw a damn baseball or something at me or something like that. But anyway, he broke the windshield. I'm driving down the road, you know what I'm saying, crying, looking at my windshield and stuff. And you know, it was just crazy, y'all. It's just too much going on. That's why I say, you know, you don't deserve that type of stuff. I can't believe I even went through something like that. You know, I had to move down in a town thinking I'm going to work things out with my baby daddy and then get down there and meet some nut that almost took my life. But we're going to get back into it, y'all. I got more to come. We almost done, and we're going to get to something else I got going on.